This portion is about rotations. So we're going to do 90 clockwise, 270 counterclockwise. It's the same thing. 180 rotation, which 180 counterclockwise and 180 clockwise, you'll end up at the same place. 270 clockwise. First off, we're going to talk about clockwise. If you have a clock that's not a digital clock, the way you go around is called clockwise. And if you go in the opposite direction, so if you're going like this, that is called counterclockwise. The rules are xy becomes y negative x. Notice that they've changed positions. Xy becomes negative x negative y, and xy becomes negative yx. Now we already had 3 other rules, and you're going to have to be able to memorize them all. What my students did is they made these little badges. And so what they did is they had this 90, and they realized that xy, and if they start at the top of the clock and go 1 rotation to the 90 and put a negative, and then the x slides down and changes its sign, and the y slides down and stays the same, they ended up at the same place. Okay, for 180, they called them skis, where the x and the y slide down and just change their signs. And all they did was memorize the clockwise, because they knew that counterclockwise, if they did this, that would be 90, 180, 270 for counterclockwise. It was the same rule. So instead of memorizing 6 rules, they memorized 3 and then would do the other direction to get the other 3. And 270, again, you start at the top and you go 90, 180, 270, so the negative becomes there, xy becomes negative yx. And literally this really does work and is handy. So if I have a -1 and a 1, the -1, that's a negative sign right there, slides down, that -1 slides down and becomes +1. And that 1 slides down and doesn't change, and it becomes 1, 1. -3 slides down, hits a change of sign, becomes a 3. That one slides down, that becomes 1, 3. -1, 4. -1, 4. -1 slides down, becomes 1, 4, and becomes 4, 1. Here, -1, 1 becomes 1, -1. Going down the skis is -3 changes the sign, become 3. 1 goes down to become -1, so that is 3, -1. -1 slides down, changes the sign. 4 and slides down and changes the sign. 1, -4. -1, 1. So it's 90, 180, 270 with the negative. So that becomes -1, -1. This becomes -1, -3. This becomes -4, -1. So that's how you have rotations. There's actually 6 rules to rotations, but because 3 of them are clockwise and 3 of them are counterclockwise, if you only memorize the clockwise, and then you can create the counterclockwise.